The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
And what's going on? Welcome to the Backup to the Backup podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Nguyen. What's going on? Happy, what is it, Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a few days. Brian will not be joining us today, unfortunately, but it's all good. Running a little solo today. It'll take for about the next, 20 to 30 minutes or so. So appreciate y'all stopping by, saying hi or just here, just watch. I appreciate it regardless. And we got a few topics to discuss today, huh? We got what do we got today? We got some college basketball, some NFL stuff, a lot of NFL news, a lot of NFL stuff coming out these past few days. So we'll get into all of that. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment any questions, topics that you want us to cover in the next episode. Or if you're joining us live, feel free to let us know what topics or any questions you have for me, and I will answer them live for you as we go on with the show. But first off, college basketball, March Madness. I think we're already, Sweet 16? I believe so. That just shows how much of a casual I am, college basketball-wise. But I watched a few games here and there. I was, as many, a big fan of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. Now, for those of you who are casual just like myself and had to do some research, I did it for you. The Oakland Golden Grizzlies are not in Oakland, California. That was new because I thought they were. As I fix my camera here, I thought they were here in California. I was just like, okay, well, maybe they're a school. They're in California and Oakland, obviously, but maybe they're just not well known. But this team was they're in the middle of the country, I think. They play in the Horizon League. To be exact, they play in Michigan, Auburn Hills, Michigan. So you can, I hope, excuse my lack of knowledge with this university, and I can do the same for you if you don't know much about them. Anyways, though, the Golden Grizzlies, they finished first in the Horizon League, and they came into the round of 64. They beat Kentucky out of all teams in the first round, 80-76, and then they unfortunately lost 79-73 against North Carolina State in the second round. So the Cinderella run for the Golden Grizzlies came to an end, unfortunately. But one of the big stories is this guy named Jack Golke. Golke is his name. Basically, this dude looks like an accountant. He doesn't look like he plays basketball. Yet this guy was just hucking threes like it was nobody's business. He had 10 threes against Kentucky, which, that's kind of pretty much why they won. Then they had, he had 6 threes against NC State. He shot 6 of 17, which is insane. So, unfortunately, things came to an end for Jack Golke and his team. But hey, shout out to them, man. We had a few upsets in the first round, second round as well, I believe. And March Madness, maybe it's crazy for someone like me who doesn't watch a lot of college basketball. It was pretty entertaining to see. So it's gonna leave it at that because, like I said, my lack of knowledge is pretty bad. But now I know who Jared McCain is though from Duke. He's a TikTok. Well, he's known for that TikTok. How does it go? It's like, I'm 3 days into college and I'm 2 lectures behind or something like that. I don't know. I don't sing. So, but anyways, let's see. Cold Iron 0727. I appreciate you stopping by. Question. I love it. Let's see. I'm late, but you think Ohtani is betting on games? That's a good question. I don't believe so. It's just why would he? You know what I'm saying? I'd love to get your opinion on it. By the way, I would say no. I just don't feel like he would. He's just not that type of person. Let alone the fact that he has money anyways. I mean, he earned a decent amount with the Angels. I think, and he got that big contract with the Dodgers, even though he deferred most of it to the end of his career compared to now. Instead of getting a good amount now, he's getting like $2 million a year. So I don't really see the need for him to gamble. I don't see why he would. The whole thing was fishy to me in the first place with him and his interpreter. But hey, he came out in this press conference. He said what he said. That was what I kind of wanted to cover because, like, I still really don't know what the heck's going on. I understand that his interpreter was talking to some illegal bookie. First off, why are you talking to an illegal bookie? Like, I don't know. It's just the fact that you why can't you just gamble responsibly? I do responsibly. I use Underdog Fantasy for player props. Check it out, by the way. Underdog Fantasy, the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports. But it's just like, why? It's just, why would you? Why would you risk, yourself, but also the player that you're representing? I'm talking about the interpreter here. By doing this stuff, and it's like, you already have the job of your dreams. You're representing one of the best players in the world, and he's your best friend. Yet you got him in the spotlight for the wrong one. This is not the news that Ohtani and the MLB as a whole want to deal with. And it's like, I just don't understand. It's like $4 million in debt that this interpreter owed. And Ohtani, at first we thought, out of the kindness of his own heart, paid for it. Turns out he didn't even know that the money was even gone from his account, which is crazy, but understandable because he's not the only athlete to have experienced this. Claude Iron in the comment section says, I watched the Tim Donaghy documentary the other day. I think he's the NBA referee, if I'm not mistaken, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. He had no business gambling either, but he did anyway. So I just need more information on the whole thing. Hey, just like you. And I'll be honest with you. I'm over here talking about what I know or what I think, but hey, I'm not an expert on it. We could look it up together. But as of right now, all I know is Ohtani came out with the press conference like 2 days ago with his new interpreter, which looks weird as hell. Excuse my language. Because it's like, we're so used to seeing the other guy for so long, and now we've seen this new guy, and this guy looks, I don't know, he just looks. We have to get used to it. If he's gonna be the main interpreter for Ohtani the next for the foreseeable future, I should say, then we gotta get used to it. However, this is just a mess. This is not how Ohtani wanted to start this season with the Dodgers, his first season with the Dodgers, and the interpreter, if you guys don't know, when the news broke to the team, he stood up. I think this is like after a game or something. I think that this was after one of the South Korea games. The interpreter, he told the team that he had a gambling problem, and the team was like confused. I think it was the GM of the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman, who was like, yeah, that's the thing. Because the team was just confused. Like, okay, you have a gambling problem. So what? Like, y'all gamble or whatever. I don't know. I was listening to the podcast on ESPN Daily, and I was doing my own research. But I think to sum that up, it's just a mess. This whole thing is a mess, and it's like, this is not how you wanted to start this season. It's just as simple as that. So, other than what we know, that's all we know right now. No new news has popped up in terms of this Ohtani betting situation. But as long as Ohtani wasn't involved, it shouldn't be much of a big deal. If he's being truthful and he really didn't know about all this, and he was just simply trying to help a friend, or as long as Ohtani wasn't betting specifically, especially on baseball games, he should be out of the clear. Unfortunately, his name is involved in it. That's why we're sitting here talking about it. But until we get more new news, Shohei Ohtani should not be penalized at all, and he should be ready to go for tomorrow, as it is opening day in baseball. So excited, very excited. The Oakland A's play tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, against the Cleveland Indians. Alex Wood on the mound, baby. And then my Phillies play in the afternoon. But go A's. I know what the Phillies going to give me. What about the A's? I live in California, so let's go. All right. Before we continue, we have a quick word from one of our sponsors on the podcast. They're a great one. I love them personally. I will be using them next time I go to an Oakland A's game or any sporting event, and you should too. They don't just do sporting events. Ryan from No Credentials Required. Take it away.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
Appreciate you, Ryan, from No Credentials Required with the word about SeatGeek. Appreciate it. SeatGeek, sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, all that stuff. I'll be using that for sure. I'm dead serious because tickets are expensive, but SeatGeek got our back. So thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring our show. Cold Iron 0727. The end of March and April is a great time for the year in sports. I agree with you. Unfortunately, football is sort of going on with the XFL or the UFL, whatever you want to call it. We'll get to the XFL in just a second, by the way. But end of March, as we approach it here, baseball, basketball is heating up, heading to the postseason, I should say. Baseball starting up, like I just mentioned, tomorrow. Hockey's going on. The UFL is coming. And, yeah, like you just meant, this is a great time, man. NFL draft is in April as well. So, man, everything's going on. Everything's going our way in terms of the sporting world. And we love to see it. We just love to see it, babe. I love sports. Sports is, I'm telling you, it's a form of therapy. Anyways, though, alrighty. We go to the NFL. First off, yesterday, Tre'Davious White, one of the top corners in the NFL, is signing with the Los Angeles Rams on a one-year deal with $10 million. Shout out to him. He's a shutdown corner for sure. When he is healthy, he missed out good amount of the season last year with the torn Achilles, so he should be ready to go for the regular season. The Rams get a top corner on a pretty decent deal. You know, he's going to be opposite, or White will be opposite of Darius Williams, who the Rams used to have before he went to Jacksonville, and now he's coming back. So shout out to the Rams. After losing Jalen Ramsey not too long ago, they have two solid corners in Tre'Davious White and Darius Williams. So shout out to them. Another corner that was traded recently. White was signed in free agency, by the way. He was just released from the Bills, but in terms of this particular cornerback, he was traded away from the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs and heads to the Tennessee Titans. So L'Jarius Sneed was traded a few days ago, and he now goes to the Tennessee Titans in the AFC South. Last season, Sneed finished with a 71.1 Pro Football Focus grade and allowed a 55.9 passer rating to opposing quarterbacks when targeted. He had 2 picks last year as well and helped the Chiefs win the Super Bowl by locking down the team's best wideout most of the time. So, you know, from a Chiefs perspective, you have to think about it in that they did this for a couple of reasons. One, cap space. They really needed to clear the cap or get cap space in general, because it's expensive. You're paying guys like Patrick Mahomes, you're paying guys like Chris Jones, who was also a free agent this offseason before they brought him back on a long-term deal. And this the formula that the Chiefs follow, it's working, because the Snead situation is the same situation that they faced a couple years ago with Tyreek Hill. And I'm sure they wanted to bring him back on a reasonable deal. Tyreek felt like, I'm sure, that he wanted more money or something. Basically, they couldn't agree on a number. Let's just leave it at that. I don't want to accuse like, oh, Tyreek wanted this and the Chiefs said that. Let's just say in general they couldn't agree on a number. That's why Hill was traded away to Miami. This is the same situation, because cap space wise, they have guys to pay, and despite the fact that they let Tyreek Hill go, they still won a Super Bowl, right? And unfortunately, L'Jarius Sneed, this is a guy they brought back on the tag, I think. Yeah, the tag, and they placed him on the franchise tag, but they did that kind of as a placeholder to see if a team would want to trade for him. At the end of the day, the Titans were one of few teams to have interest and have a solid deal that both teams would agree upon. And here we are. And it's not like, the Chiefs are screwed at cornerback. They have Trent McDuffie, and a few years ago as well, they had a good corner in Charvarius Ward, and this guy was one of the best corners on the team. He unfortunately had to go because, like I just said, cap space. But then L'Jarius Sneed comes around. He was great. McDuffie has been great as well. The Chiefs are pretty good at developing cornerbacks. So I think they're going to bank on that, in that, okay, we can develop guys and have them as top corners without having to pay the price that we need to be, because we still have other players to pay. So the Chiefs, if it's working, let's keep on doing it. And they may have lost a top corner in Sneed, but hey, that's business. That's the NFL, man. Money comes and money goes. So as for the Titans, though, they obviously get their cornerback one of the future. He's going to be opposite of Chidobe Awuzie, who's going to be the second corner, I believe, and then Roger McCreary, who's going to be the slot corner for the Titans defense. So they lost the defense corner to Shane Bowen to the Giants, so they'll be running a new defense over there, or a similar defense in Tennessee, just with a new coordinator. And yeah, that's going to be, shout out to L'Jarius Sneed, though. Got a big contract with the Titans once he signed with them, or was traded to them, and then reach an extension, basically. So, attaboy, L'Jarius. Congrats on your Super Bowl rings with the Chiefs, and hopefully you possibly win another one with the Titans. Even though it may not be likely, you can try. Alrighty. The new kickoff rule for the NFL was passed yesterday, which means kickoffs are going to look a whole lot different starting in 2024. So from now on, the kickoff will start at the 30-yard line of the kicking team. And you would think, okay, well, it's whatever, right? And I'm going to try to explain to you guys this as best as I can. For those of you listening to the audio version, bear with me. For those of you watching on YouTube, bear with me as well. All right. Should I get a picture of a field? Nah. Okay. Well, actually, yeah. Let me find a picture of a football field, and I am going to do this and explain this as best I can. Because, to be honest, it was a bit confusing at first, but after watching the XFL and how that works. Okay. So for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen. For those of you listening to the audio version, like I said, bear with me, and I'll explain it as best as I can. All right, here we go. We're going to do this. No. Okay. We're going to go to here, share screen. Boom, boom. All righty. Perfect. All right. So kickoffs are going to start. So the kicker will be kicking the ball right here at the 30 at their own 30-yard line. Which you think, okay, that makes no difference, or it's a minimal difference in what it used to be. But it's literally just the kicker at the 30-yard line. You're wondering, okay, what about the other 10 guys that used to be on either side of the kicker? So this new rule, so the kicker's by himself at their own 30. The other 10 guys are lining up at the opponent's 40-yard line right here. They're all lined up right here. The returning team, they're going to be, I think it was like 9 or 10 guys are going to be lined up right here on the 30-yard line. Their own 30-yard line, I should say. It's you can call it like a setup zone. Is what they're calling it with this new kickoff rule. So like I said, kicker at their own 30-yard line, the other 10 guys on the kicking team on the 40-yard line, and then the return team, 9 or 10 guys on the 30-yard line are right here. No one can move. The returner, yeah, he can, run around a little bit back here, awaiting the return. But no one can move until the ball is into the returner's hands. So the kicking team can't move. Whoever's on the 40-yard line can't move. The return team can't move. Once the ball is in the air and then it hits the return man, everyone can move. And there you go. That is as simple as it can get for you. It makes sense why they would do it, because, a kickoff, it's getting kind of boring because, sometimes you kick it off and then there's no touchback rule and everything. And I'm not sure if touchbacks are allowed still. I don't think they are. Let's see. Any kickoff that reaches the end zone can be returned. Or the team. Oh, okay. So this new kickoff rule, basically, so any kick that reaches the end zone in the air can be returned, or the receiving team can offer a touchback and the possession at the 30-yard line. So the ball is moving up. So if it's a touchback, it's not going to be at the 25 or at the 20 like it used to be. It's going to be the 30. So kickers are thinking like, oh, well, we're going to have to, would you risk the touchback? Or would you rather just make sure it lands into the field of play that doesn't hit that, so it doesn't hit the end zone? So that way the kicking team has a chance to, stop them before they hit the 30. Honestly, it's just it affects kickers in that, like, do you really want to just kick it all the way to the end zone and risk a touchback, or would you rather kick it and see how, what happens? Honestly, I explained it as best I could, and we'll see how it looks like once we see it in the NFL for the first time. We saw it before in the XFL. We thought that wouldn't happen in the NFL, but hey, this new kickoff rule intrigued them, and that's why it got passed. Hallelujah. So yeah, I hope I explained it as best I could. Cool. All right. Before we head off, yes, baseball is tomorrow. 162 games are, just waiting to be played. The Dodgers and Padres, of course, already played 2 of them, so they have 160 games left. But the point is, for the rest of us, rest of our teams, baseball is starting tomorrow. We'll probably have a show tomorrow, though, but regardless, it's going to be a fun season. I hope your team does well. I know my Phillies are going to do pretty well. It's just a matter if my A's are going to. Not sure about them, but we'll have to see. At the end of the day, man, sports is a beautiful thing. And the fact that baseball is here, just the vibe of baseball, it's going to get, sunny. It's going to get hotter. It's going to get hotter. beautiful weather. That's the beauty of baseball. There's nothing like the smell of going to a ballpark and hot dogs fill the air, and you know just all the different food that the ballparks have. Different creations, people just like us. People that go to a sporting event are just like us. They want to see their team play and enjoy the atmosphere. And whether that may be at the Oakland Coliseum or Citizens Bank Park or Citi Field or Oracle Park, wherever the case may be, we're all there at a game for one reason, and that is to enjoy ourselves. And I hope you guys get to go to a baseball game yourself, because these events are fun. They really are. And I hope to get to a few myself this season, especially, obviously for the A's, because can't really go to Phillies games as often. But hey, the Phillies are coming to SF in May, so fingers crossed. But regardless, it's going to be a great season, and I hope your team does well, and I hope mine does too. And at the end of the day, we got baseball from here all the way to October. The Fall Classic, as you may call it. And that'll do it for episode 20. Wow, 20 episodes. I thought we recorded more, but I guess we're stuck at 20. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And we will see you tomorrow. I'm going to be on the Corner Booth podcast, I think at 4 p.m. tomorrow. Going to be joining the guys over there as well. So I guess we got 2 shows that I'll be a part of. This show, unless something changes, and then the Corner Booth at 4. So check them out, and you'll see me there. What we're going to talk about, I have no clue. I did not receive a topic list yet, but I'm pretty sure I'll get that from Jared, who's the host of that one, once that happens. So I appreciate you guys watching and listening. And remember, there's nothing wrong with being the starter. There's nothing wrong with being the backup to a team. Just don't ever be the backup to the backup. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you very much.